is watching.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gamersledge. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Mark, and joining me as well. Oh, are you on your phone?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, where is that echo coming from? It's hilarious.
I'm trying to be supportive.
It's all good. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, and joining me this week is, of course, Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hello there, lovely people of the internet.
Mr. Me. Down. Turn down.
That's not what I said at all.
We're playing the closing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. This place, things going haywire today. Yay, technology. I love it.
All the buttons.
All the buttons. I am actually trying to find it now to stop it from continuing on.
It's done. Oh, no, there we go.
Well, it was nice having you guys.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. There it is. Why did that go off when I pressed that button? I don't know. So yes, joining me is Matt, of course, and then also joining us is Dave. Hello, Dave.
Hi, I apologize in advance. I keep forgetting this glass is twice the size of the last one I used to use.
Very good. And also joining us, a while Daniel appears.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And we're actually
Is he really there?
Yes, he is really here. That's actually the problem is we've set up all these cameras for local recording, and we've never done it for the podcast, so I don't know how to do it. So I just have to kind of insert him into the stream, as it were. Anyways, we have lots of stuff to talk about, but before we get into that, first let me say, go down the list of stuff that I have, our quick housekeeping stuff at the beginning. Thanks for joining us. If you've never joined us, we are Gamersledge, a geekery community helping you wisely spend your discretionary income since 1997. We stream our recommendations from TTRPGs to Fortnites to CRPGs, podcasts, unboxing, reaction videos, and more. If you're on Twitch, follow unlocks exclusive emotes. But for tonight's housekeeping stuff, I did want to give a quick shout out to all of our new Twitch followers. We are now at 448. We've got a goal to hit 750 by March 20th, which is my birthday. So, but thank you to Fuzzy that followed yesterday. Make Things Cheaper followed me yesterday. Jborg84, Fitchinator for the raid yesterday. Not Kataza for the raid yesterday. Twisted Ginger for the subs and the raids yesterday. And also Socratic Psalm and Alpha Chungus 155 for the follows, and Champagne Dizzy in with some support. Azon, WP Machado, Mistress Tess, Redemption VA, Steve O'Connor, Az Queezer, Redman Shooter, Wrathful Rich, Pixie Phoenix, Nariko Love 123, Billy Frog for the subs and the gifts, Arcade Guy Siege, and Rushmonk 2 for everybody followed the Twitch channel. So thank you for that. Other things I wanted to point out is that we did hit our brand new community challenge. It was up for a total of 3 days, 15,000 community points. We are doing a streamers one-shot D&D campaign where we will get Bearden, Jag Leisure, Mystical Panda, and Persephone and maybe one more streamer and do a story with them. And I will be playing in it as well as part of my birthday present. So that should be pretty awesome. We're looking at March 19th or 20th. Hard details to come shortly. Second thing, we have new merch in the merch store, bit.ly/gamersledge merch. That's bit.ly/gamersledge merch, all one word. So check that out. All of our emotes you can find as mugs and more stuff on the store also. Fifth, next we have also joined Streamers for Kids. It is a streamer group promoting Extra Life, which, if you're not aware, is a charity to buy sick kids in hospitals gaming equipment to make the things they're in the hospital for not quite as unbearable. If you would like to donate, simply head to our Twitch page and scroll down, and you'll see the donation form right there, and that counts for our team. So check that out. We've set a $1,000 goal for the year, which I think is pretty reasonable. I think we can definitely hit that, but every little bit helps. So please, if you can afford to do so, help make a child's day better. The next thing I wanted to bring up on our housekeeping list, starting February 4th, we will have a new stream on Fridays right before this one at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 1 a.m. GMT. It's called 4 DMs, 1 Idea. It's a TTRPG, tabletop RPG show geared to highlight creators and their creative process. It's a little bit improv, a little bit Eastern philosophy, where myself and 3 guests are given an idea or concept, have a short amount of time to come up with a plot hook, world, song, NPC, PC artwork, world economy, or any other thing they can come up with in a short amount of time. And afterwards, we go through each person's idea and talk about their creative process in creating that idea. This will be a great show for anyone with writer's block, new GMs or players, or anyone interested in the creative process. That debuts February 4th at 5 p.m. Pacific and will be a weekly live stream. And I think that is everything on the list for housekeeping, which means we will start the show as we always do, by going around the room and talking about what we've been watching and or playing for the last 2 weeks. And we will start that with Matt.
All right. And I'm actually ready for a change. So first off, just a little reminder to everyone out there. The big event of my last 2 weeks was we lost a pet. That's hard. It was a dog. This is the first family dog we had, and just remember that there's things out there, and there's people out there, and there's stuff out there, and there's good times and there's bad times, and they all mesh together into this crazy life thing. And just appreciate it. If you're having a downtime, don't be afraid to reach out. Look for things that you enjoy to help you get through. And just remember that there's good stuff out there too. There's good and the bad, and it all goes together. There's an axiom of, you can only have as much joy as you've experienced sorrow. The what's the word I'm looking for?
Paradox.
Parenthetical.
No, not it. It's the you can't appreciate one without having experienced the other. There's a term for that, and that's
The dichotomy.
Dichotomy of the two. There you go. Thank you.
Words.
Man with the big words. Words. Sometimes they're harder than they should be. But anyway, so that's just kind of my first thing. It's they're you're going through stuff. There's other people that have gone through stuff. You look for things that.
Thank you for the
can
lurk,
help,
Go
or
Zero.
people that can
Appreciate
help,
you
and
very much.
Just remember, it's not all great and it's not all terrible. Even though we like to blow things out of proportion sometimes. So what have I been doing to offset that? I've been watching a few things. I started the Tales from the Loop, which is a sci-fi anthology based on an art book of the same title that's on Amazon Prime. It dropped some while back. It kind of slipped through the cracks. I was going to pick it up because I like anthology type things. It's not quite what I was expecting of it. It's a real hard one to say whether you recommend or not, because you really have to know what a person is into. Like, if you really liked Electric Dreams, you'll probably like this well enough. It's not as good as Electric Dreams. But part of that is because all of the things, while it's anthology style, are connected. Whereas like Electric Dreams was all, pretty much self-contained.
I kind of like that better because you don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really have anything beyond that.
No, but I know what you mean. I like like I said, I think Electric Dreams is better, but in the mood for something like that, this one's pretty cool. What? Oh, did I freeze?
You totally, fell off the internet for a second.
Oh, okay. Where did I fall off the internet at?
You're good.
You're good.
Okay. So anyway, so if you're kind of in the mood for something that was like Electric Dreams, but give it a go. Give it a couple episodes. If you don't like it after the first episode's really, really good. Second episode drops off a little bit, and then it's slowly gotten better each one since, I think. But yeah, give it a couple.
I'm trying to figure out your screen name. Is it Geezer Doctor Forever? I don't know. GZDR4Ev ask, is it anything like Black Mirror?
No, it's not like each episode has a point and there is a lesson to it, but it's not the poignancy of like Black Mirror, right? It's not that grim. More family friendly, I would say, I guess would be the way I would put it.
Because Black Mirror is definitely not family friendly at all.
No.
Well, no, there was that one episode with the cute piggy, and that wasn't it.
No,
that's
that's the first episode. That's the first episode.
That episode's one of the big reasons I don't watch the show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, Charlie, you do not drink an old fashioned.
At least it's not Weebles. That would really make for the wobbling.
Yeah.
So other stuff I've been watching. We started Lost in Space season 3. I'm enjoying that. I've liked this Lost in Space, reboot thing. This is the final season, so I've only got over halfway through, so I'm not quite sure where it's going to end up at yet, but I've been enjoying it so far. So finished that up. I've been watching the current season of The Rookie still. We started. They finally started the second half of the final season of Attack on Titan, so we started watching that. Demon Slayer Entertainment District Arc, which is what they're calling season 2 instead of just calling it season 2. We're almost caught up on that. Not quite. I am way behind on Boba Fett, so I'm not even. I know it's terrible. Just leave me alone. And I am finally. I'm in season 5 of Breaking Bad.
Did you call it Boba Fett? I can get behind this.
I may have misspoke, Boba Fett. I may have.
It sounded like Bubba, and I thought you were doing it on purpose.
I thought you were doing it on purpose too, but I was like, I kind of like that.
It's been a long week. I don't need any alcohol to ply my brain to mush. Let's just put it that way.
Hey, I feel attacked.
It was not an attack. It was just.
I don't think you feel anything, but that's me.
I don't.
And then I've gotten my first book for the year in. I finished Stormfront, which is the first book of the Dresden Files. Second book is on order. So
what'd you think?
I really liked it. I've not particularly read anything quite like that before. It punches hard to the feeling of the the old private dick kind of dime store novel type thing, right? And that's not a thing. It's a thing I've seen referenced in a lot of things, but I've never kind of read something like that directly. But yeah, I liked it. I see where it's setting up for some good stuff. I can see where I think sequels will be better.
So
I think it was good, but I think the sequels will be better, or have the potential to be better.
keep in mind, it was one of his first novels that he released, and I mean, at this point, he has several series, but his Dresden series has 16 or 17 books.
Yeah, it's got a ton. I got a lot of catching up to do.
I own all of the novels, but I also own all of the audiobooks, and
Oh wow,
they're
nice.
read by James Marsters,
Oh
who
really?
played Spike in Buffy,
yeah.
or Brainiac in Smallville, or several other things from all over the place. But he does an amazing job with the audiobook. And so I'll usually crack out the novels once a year and listen to the novels twice a year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the series. I also have the role-playing game, so...
Oh wow. Yeah.
So you're saying you like them and recommend
A
them?
little bit of a fan. I will say it does get into an area where he is... he's a private dick, and that's what he is. I mean, he's a private detective, but he is kind of the unwilling ladies' man, and it gets into that as time goes on too.
And we should also point out that the card game is amazing. Also,
The card game is amazing. I've only played it once or twice, but it is a lot of
it's
fun.
actually
as well.
really
And
fun.
It plays out almost exactly like the books.
Oh wow. Is it a deck builder or?
It is.
Not really. You play missions based on the books. So, for example, Stormfront, it plays along the same as Stormfront, where you have cases that you're trying to solve, and you need to get a certain number of clues to be able to figure out who done it.
And since this is a good, since we're already interrupting your interruption, now GZDR Forever says, now that I'm on vacation, I'm going to start watching Wheel of Time. It was told to watch Arcane on Netflix. Wheel of Time, very worth your time. Arcane, very, very worth your time. Both excellent series.
I gotta finish that.
Which
Yeah,
one?
we did actually watch the first episode of that last night too, didn't we?
Which one?
Arcane.
Oh, Arcane.
Arcane.
Yeah, really good.
I got like distracted by like Peacemaker and like Book of Boba Fett and stuff like that. But I was also like trying to get through the Blade Runner series, and so like in the middle of that, like I caught up on Blade Runner, and then I watched Arcane, and then that just made me kind of mad at the animation in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, all right, that just was not fair. Because I really like the story of Blade Runner, but then after watching Arcane, I'm like, oh, it could have looked like this, and it just kind of got upsetting.
What else did you watch, Matt?
That's it on the watching and reading front. On the game front, I got the plat in Guardians of the Galaxy. Played some Final Fantasy 14, but I'm still in the pre Heavensward content. So I'm after the end of Realm Reborn, but I'm not to Heavensward content yet. Been playing some Fortnite here and there, and this has been a really bad season. They've made me spend money on things, and I get annoyed when they make me spend money on things. But then they just dropped Green Goblin last night, so I ended up buying that too.
I got it also. Don't feel bad.
I did too.
Daniel did too, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that was a hit for a lot of folks. But then we've been doing our Divinity Original Sin 2 playthrough still weekly, so we're still working on that. And then obviously our D&D campaign that we've been working on. And then I also did start A Plague Tale: Innocence. It's a game that came out a couple of years ago. It was a plus game a couple months back. Something I've been meaning to play for a long time. Sounded really up my alley, and got through chapter 3 on that. And yeah, I'm really digging that one so far. So a lot of what the heck is going on there. So I'm down for that. It's very story heavy. So it is a story heavy, a lot of stealth kind of puzzle-ish kind of almost Tomb Raider-ish, like how do I get through this area without the whatever getting me type stuff. But you can see a lot of homage to Last of Us in there too, with the crafting system and some other things too. So, but yeah, it's a small developer's first real big game. Their first original IP. So hopefully we'll be good. I think they have officially announced a sequel, haven't they?
Yes,
think
they
I
have
remember
officially
that.
announced a sequel. Yes.
One of those no timeline, no details, but yes, there's another one coming. So, yeah, looking forward to finishing that up and then getting primed for next month with
Cosmo Fulinito, welcome to the stream. Hello there.
hello there.
Hello there.
And well, for
I
me,
totally
for
hit the
Horizon.
Daniel button instead of the mute button. Sorry.
So all right, that's me.
Dave.
Hey, how you doing? So I wanted to show one thing real quick. One of Chris's presents was really cool. Carrie got me a Corksicle mug.
I know nothing about this.
Okay, so this is really subtle. This is the Darth Vader one.
But I don't understand. Is it a special mug or?
Oh yeah, they're really great actually. They so they're covered, insulated things, like they keep things cold for like a day. So it's pretty ridiculous. She also got me a Boba Fett mug that keeps coffee nice and hot and everything like that. So they're really nice. And they have Marvel and Star Wars themed ones now. I actually have a couple others that are like C-3PO and R2-D2. They're like little like cup ones and everything like that. When you need to like drink something at like a family party and make it look like you're just drinking a soda, you can put stuff in that and it keeps it nice and cold. It's very nice.
And this has been Tips on Alcoholism by Dave.
I'm not an alcoholic, actually. The only time I drink is when I have a podcast. So it's actually slowed down.
Well, also apparently anytime there's a family gathering and you need to look like you're not drinking.
Okay, I did marry into a big Irish family. Can't do anything about that. It's going to happen. I also picked up a new video game called Zombie Dice Deluxe.
That is not a video game, Dave.
This one came with DLC because it's the deluxe version. The dice are clear.
And what system does it play on?
That's the beauty. Apparently, it's like system agnostic. So you can just kind of like play it. It like actually has like the stuff to just play it anywhere. And it's actually really cool. The best thing about it is like I'm able to play with my son. He's like 6 years old. And, we wanted to like pick up little quick games, for him, like stuff that's like not like super heavily involved and everything. Like we don't want to have to play Clue every night. And he's really good at like, math and stuff like that. And I'm trying to teach him like risk and reward kind of stuff. And that's what this game is all about. And it's actually really cool. It's a very simple dice game where you roll the dice and there's like 3 colors of dice and they represent levels and you pick them out of a bag blind. And you have to always roll 3 dice. So it's either a brain, footsteps, or like a little shotgun or a little explosion, which is supposed to represent a shotgun blast, like the people fought back. You're playing the role of zombies. If you get brains, that's how your score is. So the first person with 13 brains wins the game. So you got to collect brains. If you get 3 shotgun blasts, you're out. You're out for that turn. Now, the fun part is you collect brains. If you get a brain and a shotgun and, somebody's on the footsteps, means they got away. You put the brain to the side, put the shotgun, blast to the side, and then you can roll again. You have to roll 3 dice again. So red dice have like more of a chance of getting shotgun blasts. Green dice have more of a chance of brains, and there's like yellow in the middle. So it's this kind of like risk reward kind of thing. Like, do you press your luck to try and get more brains, or do you think you're going to get that? It's actually kind of neat, and like a little kid can get it. And he says they're explosions, not shotgun blasts to the face. So I just let him roll with that because I don't want to correct them on that one. So let him have a little bit of innocence. He knows it's zombies trying to eat brains, and he's okay with that. So whatever. But it is a nice, simple, quick game, and it's great if you like dice games. I kind of like dice games. So there's that.
Did I ever tell you about the game that Daniel and Naomi used to play with their kids when they were 6?
Actually, younger, and for years.
Yeah, they used to play they would fall down like they were having a heart attack, and then rise from the grave as zombies.
Oh yeah, we can't do that because we're old.
Well,
hold on.
Well, I looked at him and I said, "Yeah, but what if one of you actually has a heart attack?
Yeah,
and don't get up? They're not going to call for help or anything."
No.
And that's one of the major reasons we stopped playing it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Because if we did it now, we're old. They'll be like, "What? Okay, yeah, Dad's dead." It's not going to be, Plus, it takes too long to get off the ground anymore. So, that's just not a good idea for me.
Alrighty, Half Slice, welcome to the channel. Hello there. Yeah, and Matt just put a link in the chat. We don't get a cut of this, but it is on sale on Amazon. Zombie Dice is, so you might want to go and check that out right now.
Oh yeah, it's very cheap too, and especially on sale, that's got to be even cheaper. But yeah, it's a cool, quick little game. The whole family can enjoy, so I like it.
Yeah, it's actually played in every household except Dave's until recently.
Yes, I know I'm late to it. I get that. It's been very popular for a long time.
We played it with our exchange students, and they enjoyed it so much we got them each a copy of it for Christmas as a stocking stuffer. So,
I mean,
that's the cool thing. There's different versions of it.
Yeah, I know Matt, Daniel, and I were playing it back at the store. So
it's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's been around for a good while.
Yeah, but I didn't have a kid back then.
Right.
So that was my excuse.
That was the only reason we were playing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. So,
Dave, any house you're in has a kid in it. I'm just letting you know.
That's completely fair and valid. I played Disco Elysium. I started that a little bit.
Oh wow!
And I didn't get very far.
I'm actually super surprised. That's a very mainstream game for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it mainstream? I thought that was still.
Oh no! It broke into the mainstream.
What are you doing, Mark?
Oh,
why are you telling him?
Right? No, you're right. It's not. My bad.
No, I just picked up Pokemon's Artreyu, so that's a mainstream game.
I love the part where the Pokemon horse sinks in the sand.
I know. I haven't got there yet. Spoilers, dude.
Yeah, what's up with that?
What's wrong with you?
Oh, so much.
So what do you? How far into it are you? Disco Elysium?
Not very far. I'm probably a couple hours in.
Okay.
And a lot of that is me going really slow and searching every nook and cranny of stuff to read and everything like that. And I find myself having a little bit of an issue because sometimes there's things that fail and you can't. That's closed off. It's just okay, you're done. With that, I'm oh my God, was that important? And I get this little bit of anxiety in there saying did I just screw up my whole game, for something?
And the answer is yes.
Oh no.
It can be. It can be.
See, that I didn't need to hear.
It's good.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Choices matter.
But yeah, so I'm hoping things early on don't really have that much of a impact, but it's pretty neat. I like the way it starts and everything like that, and I kind of like the world. I like the style of it and everything. And
my real question is, do you see anything of yourself in the detective?
I would like you to shut up.
Because you are my main character for that game. I'm just letting you know.
I'm not gonna lie. It hit home a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the reasons I wanted you to play it.
Yeah, it is kind of funny because I'm sitting there watching. I'm ooh. This is why I don't do this during the week.
I will say to the viewers watching, I'm only mostly joking. It would be a greatly exaggerated version of Dave.
Yes.
Not a realistic portrayal of him. But
Exactly.
it was enough that I'm like,
I am definitely not as tall.
That's 100% true. That's what I was talking about. Exactly.
So I'm looking forward to getting more into that. I started the Pokemon came in today, but I unfortunately had like work to do, so like I couldn't actually just tear into it right away. So I got about maybe 45 minutes into that before the podcast, and it seems neat. You know, it seems like a Pokemon game, open world, you know, kind of stuff. So.
And what's the name of it? Pokemon Atreyu?
Something like that.
Arxis.
Oh, Arxis. It's not the never-ending story. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I don't know. Atreyu sounded better.
Yeah. Is it Arctus or Arxus?
Dude, I don't know how to read.
It's there's a big debate on how it's supposed to be pronounced, actually. Arceus, Arceus, and so it's not sure if it's Arceus or Arcus or Arceus. Yeah, so there's kind of a big debate on. Apparently, there's something in the game that
already have spiced. Thanks for coming by. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful evening. I hope you sleep well.
You can hear. Yeah. What?
I'm doing stream stuff.
Oh,
okay. Stop it.
So the secret to a good old fashioned is Luxardo cherries. Worth a splurge, I'm telling you.
Have you been playing anything else, Dave?
Well, of course, Animal Crossing still every day. For like, you know, I do a half-hour run where I collect my stuff, and it's my little meditation. Metroid Dread, I was still playing a little bit of that, and we also got Piranha Plant Escape. It's another kids game where you have to like you're like little Mario characters going around a thing, and you have to press a button, and the piranha plant is like physically there, and it goes rawr. So it's kind of like that perfection, kind of like waiting and anxiety kind of thing you teach kids. It's great. My kid's like petrified of it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, perfection. It's the reason why we're on drugs today.
Yes. Yes. Wholeheartedly.
Like they gave that to us as kids. And they thought that would be fun. It's just like you hear tick, 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 and you're just like freaking out because not everything's there. And then it goes boom, and like everything you just did went to hell. And you're like, yay? Like, you know, it's just like I just had an anxiety attack and I'm like 4. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think that was the best idea to give to me as a kid.
It didn't take me very long to realize that just hit the power button before it explodes.
I was never one of those outside the rule kids, so I would have never thought of that in a million years.
Yeah, I needed to be punished.
Wow.
What
else did you play, Dave?
Oh boy. We're going to the Catholic guilt area now.
Yeah, heavy on that. You know, my grade school, it was like actually wine with the bread. It was awesome. That also, what?
What else did you play, Dave?
I didn't play anything else, but I read a lot. I've been reading lately a good bit. I've been into the Dune series. Before the movie came out, I wanted to reread the first book. And it was funny. I like reread like half the first book before the movie came out, and I watched the movie, and I literally like stopped reading the book right where the movie ended. So I'm just like, yay, that was perfect. So I kept reading, and I'm like, you know something? I never read the rest of the series, so let me read the rest of the series. So I read what's next. So it's like Dune, Messiah, Children of Dune, and then there was God Emperor. Yep. And I'm already through God Emperor, so I now I'm on Heretics of Dune. So that's a lot of reading. That's a decent amount of reading for me, like more than I have been in the past couple of years. So I'm kind of excited about that because I feel smarter that I can read a book.
Your feelings are valid.
Yeah, thank you. And So I think that's awesome. But I'm really kind of hoping that like Dennis can like keep making these movies, because I want to see this stuff with him in the director's seat. I know it's never going to happen past, these 2 movies, but I can dream.
I'm okay without the without the hybrid that we get later on in the series.
Spoilers for the people who haven't.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
I'm just saying, Doom gets weird.
It does. It gets
from
really
weird. From where it starts, it gets surprisingly weird.
It gets so weird, and it's awesome. Like it gets really weird.
It's like it's like the shift in Evangelion, where you're like, oh, cool, like anime, mecha anime. Okay, there's a little psychological. Oh my lord, what did I just watch?
What's going on here? And then there's that scene where he's like, I'm so effed up, and I'm like, I relate to this so much because I'm watching this. Why am I still watching this? But so I've been enjoying that a lot lately, and caught up on Book of Boba Fett. We're watching the Ozarks. Peacemaker. Everybody's got to watch Peacemaker.
Oh God, I still haven't even started it.
Oh,
it's not.
I haven't either.
It's not for lack of wanting to. It's just
Oh, dude, it is so much fun, and whatchamacallit, and AEW wrestling, which is getting more hilarious because Kerry is like almost all in now.
I see what you did there.
Like, yeah, she is.
Is she double or nothing?
So might as well be. Yeah. She was like doing something. She goes, "Oh, I saw something on CM Punk's Instagram," and I'm like, "What?"
So did I tell you? Okay, since we're here, we're going to talk about it for a second. Did I tell you about Lexi and CM Punk?
Yes.
Did I? What was the last update you heard from me?
Well, you said that she didn't like him.
Oh no. Because I told you she is a 100% kayfabe fan, right?
Yeah.
So now that she's feuding with MJF, she loves him. Loves him and refuses to talk about the before times when she hated him. Which is amazing.
Did you get her a shirt? I got Carrie a shirt.
She already has multiple shirts, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. She has multiple shirts, but she is
you
now.
You saw Wednesday, right?
100%.
Okay. Dan House.
Dude, did they actually sign him? I didn't see that.
He's signed.
Oh, thank God.
He is all elite.
Him and Orange Cassidy are going to rule that company. That's all I got to say.
I really hope they start doing something with if you go look at his, I don't know if you follow his YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
But I went back to see like if there was any clues on that, and apparently he's been just like messing around with AEW people for like a while now.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's good friends with almost everybody on the roster, but he was actually tag team partners with Orange. So I knew it was a matter of time, but I was super glad that it was during an Orange Cassidy match.
Yeah,
that was super.
That was great. But if you haven't seen the stuff with the Gunn family,
yes,
I'm dying. I'm like obsessed over that stuff. Today he just cut a new theme song for them.
For the Gun Club?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm sure I can imagine what the content is.
It is amazing.
I will go check that out.
It's better than you think. And I really cannot wait for more of that stuff.
It drives me insane how well AEW is booking their storylines and their shows. And
they're doing really good.
How hard it must be to mess it up the other direction. There's people that I know that are excited for the Royal Rumble tomorrow, and I'm like, why? And I feel bad for that, for them. And they watch AEW too, so it's not like they don't know, right? But it's the case where I don't know, man. I don't know why they're, it's really frustrating to watch anything on the E right now at all.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy.
Greatness Nation, welcome to the stream. Hello there.
I'm really digging that. And
hello there.
I have access to Peacock right now, so like I'm wondering if Carrie's going to want to go back and see like WWE era Punk stuff. You know,
Lexi is so anti WWE, and it's not from me. She feels like they're all invaders who don't belong there.
Wow.
Oh yeah, she's like AEW is Darby. It's it's Jungle Boy. It's Best Friends. That's AEW, and she doesn't like it when new WWE people. She actually really liked Bryan Danielson until they turned him heel, and then she immediately doesn't like him now at all.
It was what an amazing heel turn they did with him.
Oh
too.
my god, yeah.
It was just so quick and effortless.
Yeah, it was effortless. But yes,
they're doing so good.
Yeah, so that's it on wrestling. I will skip it on my turn, Matt, so you don't fall into a coma and die.
Sorry, Matt.
The real thing that bothers me is I actually think Matt would like it and enjoy it if he watched it.
I don't know.
And then he would actually like complain that there's not enough time because there's so much of it.
I don't know. I was able to get Carrie into it because like she likes stuff like she will watch she watches like a lot of good stuff too, like a lot of good scripted TV shows and everything like that. But her guilty pleasure is always like Real Housewives and everything. And I explained wrestling. I was like, it's basically Real Housewives, except there's a satisfying conclusion after they fight.
Yeah.
And like now she gets that, and she like loves like I'm gonna really miss this MJF Punk feud because it's been like the best stuff ever.
It has been amazing, but I'm telling you, Lexi gets mad at me when we sit down for movies and stuff because there are certain times that I can just go, that's the killer, and she gets really annoyed with me because it ends up being right most of the time, and I'm like, Julia Hart is joining the House of Black.
Oh yeah.
And like I saw as soon as they spit in her face, I was like, wow.
The only thing that's not obvious is I don't know who's going to win with this Punk MJF match.
I would give it to MJF if it were me.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I'm a little afraid of it's going to happen because like Kerry's going to be pissed if that happens.
Yeah, but he's so good as a heel. I start laughing every time I see him, and Lexi gets so mad at me. I'm like, he's so good at being a bad guy. So good.
There was a video of Danhausen at like a Comic-Con kind of thing.
Yeah. I saw it. It's amazing.
He's never had a character.
No, never.
We got to stop because Matt is going to kill us. And
yes,
I'm sorry.
He is going to kill us.
He's not the only one.
Yeah, Daniel is also like,
wow, really?
I'm going to kill everyone. Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, so that's it for wrestling talk.
Yes.
Go ahead, Daniel. What have you been watching and or playing?
So I don't do a lot of video games. I don't end up having a lot of time for it. But so a lot of Sudoku.
What? Talk about wrestling again.
So video games aren't really for me in the long run. It's hard for me to really focus on them. But I picked up Star Wars: The Old Republic for another month so that I can work on getting some classes through. Is that better?
Yeah, that's
some
way
classes
better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because I have some of the classes that if you get them to a certain point, then they count for certain things, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm getting through those. But most of my time lately has been spent on prepping board games and miniatures for Christmas presents and a whole bunch of other gaming stuff. So not a lot of video games, but a lot of that. I have, for watching, I've been watching Book of Boba Fett and a lot of the normie stuff there, and some older television as well, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm stoked.
I thought Old Republic went free to play.
So it is free to play, but just like most of the free to plays, if you pay the monthly, you get just that little bit extra. And so it makes things a little bit easier. If all you're really doing is leveling, then it grants you more XP bonuses and more of this, that, and the other. And essentially that's all. I'm pushing my way through the story. And ironically, it's a story I've played through before they started doing this credit thing, so I didn't get credit for it. But like some people I know that are looking for platinums, this is one of those checkboxes I just want to get done.
I don't hunt platinums. I just feel like games I love that have reasonable trophies should. That's how I show my appreciation.
Yeah, I get you. But yeah, so that's been me.
All right then.
I do respect Matt's platinum list.
Oh, Matt has a very healthy and respectable platinum list.
Yeah.
Guardians was number 50, so
yeah, that's a nice, like, that's a really perfect capper for him, for that to be 50. Like, that's, I don't know, that's just poetic.
My platinum list is completely unreasonable, and I love it because of that. I would say that the majority of them are MMOs on platforms because it's funny.
That's hilarious and upsetting at the same time.
That's exactly why I love it, because it's hilarious and upsetting. What have I been playing? Wildermyth. This is one of the games that I nominated for Game of the Year.
I've been no talking to me ever about weird games and non-mainstream stuff, because I never heard of anything you're talking about anymore, and it's starting to be upsetting.
Are you afraid that I have out indied you?
Yeah, like I feel like I'm a fraud, and I don't like that.
Well, I mean, Final Fantasy. That's all we have to say.
I mean, I am a fraud. I get it, but like that's like,
so
you're like saying Game of the Year, and I've never even heard of it. I feel like it's.
Listen, man, it's 20. It's actually on sale on Steam right now for $18. Ominous, thank you for the lurk. You're a rock star. Also, hello there.
Hello there.
Wildermyth is $18 on Steam right now. It's normally $24 or $25. It is the art style is pop-up book, but it is a CRPG that has a bunch of legacy themes to it. Your characters actually grow older, and then they get married and have kids, and eventually maybe the kids join the party as well when they're old enough. And it's kind of about protecting your lands from an encroaching threat, and you have a certain amount of time, so the time is always ticking, just like you were talking about before, Dave. And it makes you consider everything that you do. The story is amazing, and the choices are near, like they're meet the parents' level of uncomfortable choices. Like, you have to make choices that are really hard, and you get attached to these characters, and then all kinds of crazy things happens, and you have to decide how you want these characters to grow and survive or not. And it's really kind of brutal at times and a lot of fun.
I remember that from Phantasy Star 3, where you had to make those choices, like who you were going to marry, and it just kind of came down to whoever had blue hair for me.
Well, so that can be a thing in here as well, I suppose. You can't have blue hair. So
we're good then.
Yeah, you should be good. But what the thing that blew me away about this is that I was recommending this to another streamer, and they started playing it on stream, and I didn't realize it has 5-player co-op. And this is this dev company's first game, and it's like they knocked it out of the freaking park. It is amazing. If you like any kind of tactical combat, if you like good story-based games, if you like tough choices that matter in your story, then I cannot recommend Wildermyth enough to everyone. It is really, really good. And the fact it has 5-player co-op is crazy. Crazy good. So I've been playing a lot of that. Also, not this Friday, not the last Friday, but the Friday before, so directly after the podcast, I purchased a small game called Escape from Tarkov. I had been watching several streamers play it for a while, and I knew it was very difficult, but I did not anticipate it being the level of complexity that it actually is. And I was excited about it because it seems like a game that's right up my alley in the fact that you need spreadsheets, you need to look up maps, you need a bunch of things outside of the game to play the game. And it has ticked every box that I can possibly illustrate to you for me. It is if I had to boil it down into like a a under 100 word description. It is a hyper realistic first person shooter with Diablo inventory management minigame, and it is a hoarding simulator. That's what the game is.
And sign me up.
Dude, it's so good. I am not joking. It is so good. And when you roll with a group of, or like a regular group of people, it is even better. It is about memorization of maps. It is about figuring out where the hidden stashes are on a map, and then balancing that risk reward of do I be greedy and collect more stuff and have a higher potential of possibly dying on this run, or do I make a beeline for the exit and try and get out with all my stuff? And it is chef's kiss. I mean, it's been in beta for 4 years now, apparently. And if you told me this is a beta, I almost wouldn't believe you. It's so good. I've been playing the heck out of it on stream, and people have 1,000 questions, really interested in it. So that's been really nice because people have been coming along with me. And one of the things I wanted to do when I picked it up in the first place was start that journey as someone who knew nothing and did not look up anything and just went into the game. And so Omnius, it's phenomenal. And
how much did that hurt?
Oh, it was so bad. The first 3 hours of the first stream, I'm not lying. Headshot. I get
that, but I know you are you don't like doing that.
Oh, I don't like doing that. I like researching everything before I go in. But I was like, okay, if somebody just heard from a friend that this is good and they want to go in cold, what is that like? And so I did it. And luckily, after that first 3 hours, I had one of my viewers say, dude, you're playing the wrong map. You need to go to this map. And I said, but it says that this is the easiest map. And they're like, no, it's actually the hardest map. And so once that happened, we started teaming up, and actually that was Mystical Panda.
So why did it say it was easiest?
It's beta, I guess. I don't know. It does say it's the easiest map, but it's in fact an insane map, an insane difficulty map, so it's crazy. But we went to one that was hard, listed as hard, and that's the one we run today. And it's probably the easiest starting map. So it's been, I just, you never know what's going to happen. And it's the same reason I like Fortnite and other battle royales, is it's that whole risk reward of scavenging. Do I stick my neck out for a firefight, or do I try and run away from it? And when you're playing with friends, it's almost like playing Rock Band in a way. When everybody gels in Rock Band and you become a band that's trying to enhance each other's performance, this is the same thing. When you're playing with four other people as PMCs, trying to survive a sea of AI bots and possibly player scabs and other PMCs, suddenly everybody's communicating, watching out for themselves. I had one run where literally I got shot by every scab on the map running all the way across it, and I managed to have enough healing material to make it to the exfil, and I was passing out as I made it out. So, I mean, there's some really interesting things in the game. You never know what's going to happen. It's fantastic. It's absolutely great. So there's Escape from Tarkov. If I was going to rate it right now, I probably got about, I would guess, 150 hours in it at this point. And I would say that it is, if you are that type of person who likes it, I guess the one other person it would appeal to is gun nuts, because you basically get to build and customize your own guns. So that's also a big big part of the game as well.
I like the hoarding simulator aspect of it, because I'm on this. I saw a meme the other day on the internet that just really struck home for me, where it was like something about you hoard everything until the end of the game, thinking you're going to need it, and all of a sudden you see the credits roll, and you never used any of your stuff. And I am so that guy.
And we'll trip every one of those triggers for you. I have special boxes just for hoarding, like legit. They're called Lucky Scavenger boxes. I have 3 of them now, and I am about to buy a 4th.
Nice.
Just so that I can hold more stuff because everything you pick up in the game you will need at some point. And that's really horrible in a way.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's good for people that like the horde stuff, because then it's justification for that.
Yeah, except that you have limited Diablo inventory, and you have to start making hard choices as to what to sell, what to keep. That's why the game is like, it's multi-layered, it's complex. It makes you make a lot of choices that you might not like, and there's that risk that when you go out as a PMC, you could lose everything you're carrying. And
I need to have the game where you have those magic pockets.
Yeah, no,
those
that's
magic
not that.
Dimensional pockets.
Not that.
If I don't have magic dimensional pockets, I don't play.
There you go. We also played Divinity Original Sin 2 on stream on Wednesday. We played some Fortnite last night. Did really well. And then D&D on Mondays as well. The group is currently in the third of 3 parties. Their party gauntlet. And now this has turned into a murder mystery. So that's kind of interesting. And then watching, we already talked about it, AEW. That's the only thing I've watched in 2 weeks. I will be changing that. Tomorrow, Daniel, Lexi, and I will be watching the first episode, doing a reaction video for Critical Role. I'll be taping that, and then we'll be editing and putting up on YouTube and Twitch as VODs. And that's it for me. So, gentlemen,
broaden your minds.
A small thing happened.
Yes.
If I had the you win emotes for this stream, I would totally press one. GZDR Forever said, Dave sounds like a game Mormon. If I don't have my magic underwear, I won't play it.
It's kind of true, though.
It is. That's why I'm like, if I had a you win emote, I would press it right now for you. Yeah, that's hilarious.
No, it's definitely, I'm not going to lie there. Having that, like, I remember, what was it? Was it Resident Evil 4, which is a game I'm still surprised that I like so much? Mm-hmm. That had, like, the Tetris inventory, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you had to, like...
It's the same thing. Tarkov has the exact same thing. And I should say that you have the magic pockets back at your base. So if you get out and you have like a lucky scav box, then you can put more stuff than is in the physical inventory. But you have to make it out.
Oh, that's not too bad. Ish.
It's really good game. Anyways, if you like those kinds of OCD type things, then you will like. For me, it's legit a 10 out of 10, even though it's an FPS, and I don't like FPSs. It is so really good, and I really like playing with teammates. It's really great. I will say, if you play solo, it is a completely different game, and nothing but paranoia inducing. But if you roll with friends, it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely out if it's single player. I don't need any more paranoia in my life. Wait,
I need to clip this. Stand by. Good. I just made a clip that shows video proof that Dave said, is it a single player? I'm out. That's what he said.
Because you said single
one round of Fortnite where he wins 10 in a row and the single players are out.
It's not true. However, you said specifically single player is anxiety inducing because it causes paranoia, and I don't need that.
While that may be true, Dave, that's not what the internet says now, because here's a clip of you saying otherwise.
That's right.
Yeah, something I'm fine with that.
That's the only direction he could go at that point. He was back and painted into the corner.
Yeah, no. Because, I did have fun playing Fortnite. I did. With you guys. I don't think it would be like, I'm not jumping in with like randos and everything like that.
That is 100% true.
I did like your guy. I did like when you guys were like lying and saying like, "Oh, I don't understand what's going on. This has never happened before." When it's
That
like,
has
obvious.
literally never
No,
happened.
that
to
has
us before.
never happened before. We
But
have
you were-
never gotten 10 rows in Fortnite, 10 wins
Right,
in a row in
because
Fortnite ever.
You were playing with a noob.
Yeah, but
And
when I was a
you were
noob, that
getting-
didn't happen.
Char. What is going on with these cats?
I'm a super nerd too. I'm a super noob too, especially with Fortnite, and that didn't happen with us either.
Okay, well maybe I don't know because I didn't do anything. I was checking stats. I did nothing.
I just followed them.
Yeah, I did that, and I shot one person up the butthole. That was about it.
Hey, it counts.
It does. It did. I think it counted as an assist.
Oh my god. if I could press the win button right now,
Wow.
I would press the win button. Dave, I am both amused and also stay out of my domain.
I was so waiting for the right time for that.
The fact that he is still sober enough to have planned, held on to, and delivered that at the right time.
I am impressed.
I am so happy right now.
All right, let's get to the main crux of the news. The gaming landscape actually changed fairly significantly in the last 2 weeks because Microsoft, for $40 billion, is purchasing Blizzard Activision.
Yeah, they're not playing around.
There was an amusing meme I saw that was Invincible, the animated series, and it was Omni-Man talking to Mark, pointing to the planes behind him and saying, and the planes were represented by Microsoft, and it was like, see what they need to do to even be 1/15th as powerful as we are. I thought it was pretty funny, but taking Call of Duty and potentially making it Xbox exclusive, taking Spyro and making it potentially Xbox exclusive, taking Crash Bandicoot and potentially making it Xbox exclusive when it's the PlayStation's mascot, or was the PlayStation's mascot. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but those are properties we haven't seen for a while.
Right? Not true.
Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, it just came out with a new game last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been.
I have 3 children, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's really surprising to me.
No, that's my point.
Two items. They had what was it? Crash Rewind and Crash Kart Racing, I think. Yeah. So they had 2 titles.
And there was also but the thing is that I'm wondering is Pitfall Harry coming back? I really think that you're going to see some big Pitfall Harry news, and they're going to what? No,
I love the shrug and look of I have no idea what he's talking about that Daniel just gave me. Pitfall Harry is the main star of Pitfall, the 1980s
Atari game.
Yes.
Does he still look like this 5 blocks?
Yeah, I mean probably.
Then I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no, they actually did do a reboot of Pitfall in the 32-bit era, I believe.
So he looked like 15 blocks.
No, I think there was like a 3D PlayStation version of Pitfall.
My hope is for finally a StarCraft Ghost game. That actually comes out.
Thought that released actually.
No, it got blocked and dropped. We got some video and some demo video, but we didn't get any actual game.
What about
What am I thinking of?
Wait, there was something I just heard that was really cool. Oh, that was the Star Wars XCOM thing. Never mind. I'm totally thinking of something totally different.
Les OP, welcome to the channel. Hello there.
Hello there.
To be fair, well, he does things.
To be fair.
To be fair.
Everything from the Insane Trilogy, which was the remake re-release of the original, forward has been multi-plat. It's been on everything. So Insane Trilogy the relaunch of Crash Team Racing and for what's it, About Time or something like that. We're all multi-platform. So those
Twisted
were
Ginger
not
/ Daddy Giant, welcome to the
PlayStation
stream. Hello there.
exclusive. I mean, yes, Crash
Hello
is
there.
most closely associated.
Thank you for the
with
bits. You're a rock star.
PlayStation
You didn't
brand,
have to do that,
the
but we
games
appreciate
that have all
you.
released in recent history.
Try
have
not to
all
talk
been
off of Matt.
multi-platform. He
Yeah,
must still be
so
doing stream stuff.
yeah, and they have been multi-platform. That is true, but much like Bethesda, when Microsoft acquired them, I fully expect them to take all of these things to a singular platform, PC/Xbox.
Well, they have said that that's not their intent with all of the properties. Now, we don't know what properties they would be considering
Skylanders.
leaving multiplayer.
Do you think we're going to get Skyrim on to be able to play on Master Chief's helmet?
I'm actually surprised you didn't make Matt choke with that question. Since he was taking a big old drink of something right there.
Skyrim plays on most major brands of toasters these days.
That
so
is
nothing
actually
surprises me anymore.
Not untrue. I believe there is a refrigerator that plays Skyrim now. I'm not joking.
I know there's definitely everything that plays the original Doom. Anything with a screen now has a version of the original Doom on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to take time because they're two massive conglomerations to merge one into the other. So, they've said they're going to remain as independent entities for a while, but once the merger actually occurs, man, I just don't see how they wouldn't pull up fences and go singular platform to drive sales that way.
Yeah, there is a perception thing though there too. I mean, I was kind of joking earlier, but it's Microsoft Evil Incorporated. So it's like at some point there's going to be a perception shift. Now, the one thing they do have going is Game Pass, and nobody can shut up about Game Pass, right?
Game Pass is great.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I don't want to hear about it.
No.
anymore.
I want to say one thing about Game Pass being poop.
Okay.
For
Is that the
somebody
one
like
thing? Oh, no.
for somebody like me that takes forever to beat a game, it could go.
Yeah.
Before I finish.
That is a risk. It could leave the service. I have PlayStation Now, and even that can be paralyzing with choice. You just go in there and you look at the list and you're like, nope, close it, and then don't end up actually taking anything out of it. So there's that too. But I mean, I'm not a financial person, so I don't even try to crack the numbers. But they've got to be losing today money in this venture whenever they finally start launching first title games with any regularity. That's probably the only thing that launching day and date has mitigated, is the fact that they have so few in studio exclusives right now. Now that's looking to change in the very, very near future. So I don't know how long they'll be able to sustain that, aside from the fact that they could probably subsidize it with their mouse business and, never miss a beat. But I mean, there is a perception at some point. At some point, they just keep buying stuff up and making it exclusive. There's going to start to be a blowback effect. Now, will people actually vote with their dollars, or will they just whine online? Sometimes whining online is enough to make some things change. And
I vote for whining online. That's what people do most of the time.
It's true. I mean, that said, hey, they took a company that was in turmoil.
Thin King Jeffy, welcome to the stream. Hello there.
They're working to purchase it, and they're going to try and turn it around. And Microsoft is nothing if not the Borg. They come in and they sweep through everything and they make it the Microsoft way. And maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good for that studio. I hope that they keep publishing certain titles. Obviously, the exclusivity of items and early access and stuff that PlayStation had purchased from Activision for Call of Duty will go away. That obviously will never be happening ever again beyond whatever obligations have already been agreed to and paid for. but I really hope they don't. I think that would be incredibly short-sighted of it. I think it would behoove them, but nothing, to keep it on PlayStation, PC, and Xbox, keep it multi-platform, and able to play cross-platform online. I think that would be a great show of goodwill, I think, on their part. And
Yeah,
it's
but
not like they can't afford it.
I don't think they care about goodwill, personally. I think they will totally pull up stakes and just close the wagons and make it PC, Xbox only, because it doesn't hurt them if it doesn't, right?
The one thing that I think that mitigates that is Xbox. Not everybody can buy a PC, and Xboxes aren't that prevalent yet, right? I mean, they're not flushed lying around on the shelves of the store where anyone who wants to play, well, dang, I got to go buy an Xbox to play Call of Duty, is going to be able to just walk into their Target, Best Buy, Amazon, whatever, and get it.
Thank you for the hydrate, Twisted Ginger. I did do it. Unfortunately, it was off camera, but I drank like over half the bottle.
I watched him do it. Yeah, he did.
Thank you. Also, and now you guys knew about this one because we put it in the title, the Activision acquisition incorporated. But the other reason this was a big week is because Sega has exited the Japan arcade business after 50 years of producing. Everybody knew when they pulled out of consoles in the West and the East, that was a big deal, but they continued to make arcade games until today, basically this week.
Are they pulling out of the arcade? They're pulling out of owning arcades. Are they actually stopping making arcade machines too?
I believe so. They sold 85% of the arcade and amusement center business. And I'm checking the rest of the article. They sold to Gendo.
They made like mostly pachinko machines anymore.
No, that was Konami.
No, that's Konami, actually.
That's Konami, guys. Why are you trying to say that's Sega?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I misspoke. They will still manufacture and sell arcade machines for now. However, that entire sector has been hit really hard because of COVID. So
right.
I wouldn't be surprised to see an announcement saying they're getting out of that business as well.
And their home, their PC console, whatever business you want to call that's still that hasn't been affected by this. That's completely separate business unit, right?
Correct. You're talking about the software division.
Software, yeah.
Yes, still, that's complete. Yeah, that hasn't been affected at all. But still, it's a huge thing because Sega arcades. I'm trying to figure out, Chuck E. Cheese or Toys R Us. Those are things ubiquitous here for, either toys or arcades or whatever. There, you can't go anywhere without seeing a Sega arcade. So for them to close after 50 years of that is a huge thing for Japan.
Yeah. I have to imagine they'll still keep making the UFO machines, though. Those things.
Jag Leisure, welcome to the channel. Hello there.
Iconic and money grabbers. Although with COVID, maybe they just aren't viable anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Who's got the next news story?
Well, I have one that's just I haven't really been following this, but it caught my eye, and so I had to read it. But Sea of Thieves PvP arena is being shut down in March. I have never played Sea of Thieves. I didn't even really understand what the PvP thing is, but usually for a game, if it's PvP arena is shutting down, that's usually a big deal. Looks like for this game, it's being shut down because it just never caught on. It's not the main mode of the game. The free roaming adventure mode is the main load of the game, which is doing great apparently, but the PvP is just not performing where they wanted to, and it's not getting enough traction.
GZDR forever. Thank you for the follow. You're a rock star. We appreciate you.
So they're going to go ahead and they're doing a big closeout event for people who are play during the this time and get to a certain rank will get a bunch of rewards that they can use apparently across the game, cosmetic rewards. And so if that's something you wanted to try out and you never did, you got 2 months to give it a go, or basically a month actually to give it a go and see if you can get in there. According to Rare, only 2% of the player base spent any time in the PvP mode, and that's a major factor of why they're shutting it down. So, the more you know.
Daniel, you've got one. Go ahead.
So, for board game news, Paizo, the creators of Pathfinder and Starfinder, have partnered up with Gale Force 9 to release 3 upcoming board games. It looks like they'll be based in the Pathfinder Starfinder universe, which are one universe, 2 different time periods of that universe. 2 will be Pathfinder and 1 will be Starfinder, and those will be Q2 through Q4 of this year.
Nice.
Right.
I actually have one as well. Kind of interesting. GeForce Now, which if you're familiar with it, basically it's NVIDIA's game streaming service, has now launched as an app for LG TVs. So that will allow people to play through their televisions, much like they do smartphones, tablets, and PCs now. And it uses resolution upscaling options to make up the difference in resolution for those suffering from lower network speeds. I'm curious if you end up having to pair a controller with it or how that works exactly. Do you play on the remote? I'm not sure, but that's a thing that's available now. So,
I have an LG TV, though I don't subscribe to the NVIDIA service, so it probably wouldn't do me any good. But
it is in beta, so I'm not sure if you have to pay for it or not, but might be something to check out. Dave, do you have a news story?
I don't believe I do, actually.
Do you want to make something up quick?
I'd like to make something up, but most of it's just waiting for stuff. Like I did a Kickstarter for a really tiny Game Boy, and I forget what it's called.
Game Boy,
a little keychain thing, right?
Game Boy minuscule.
Yeah, it's a total keychain thing. It's 16 by 16 pixels, and it actually plays games. It's ridiculously small to the point where it's unusable, but I still did it because I'm just that much of a whore for portables.
Yeah, I get it. DBZ Yanni, welcome to the stream. Hello there. Thank you for the alert.
Hello there.
Mr. J Nice, welcome to the stream. Hello there.
I love how I was just ignoring that. And
yeah,
it's rightfully so.
Just walking right through it.
Yep.
But when they show up, I'm going to be showing.
Well, you better show them off when they show up.
I totally will.
So Warner Media CEO has confirmed that Gotham Knights and Hogwarts Legacy is still on track for a 2022 release. I am guessing the end of this year is going to be stacked with all the delays we've been seeing. But yeah, they confirmed it is still on track for a 2022 release for both of those titles.
Nice. I don't think I'll be playing either, but it's good to see that those finally getting out. The Steam Deck officially has a launch date of February 25th of this year. So if that was something you're interested in, I still get a kick out of all the promo images for this thing, show it playing Stardew Valley or something to make it look like a Switch as much as possible. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't think this thing was ever going to see the light of day. I thought they were going to bail on this hard, but they're pushing forward with it. So, if you've got an early reservation, you should be getting an email to have 72 hours to confirm your purchase. And if you don't respond, you'll lose your spot and you have to start over. If you do, then you'll start seeing shipping out at the end of February. Yeah, I don't really understand why this device exists, but I'm old school, so I why not? Why not?
I mean, I get it. I mean, it has a market, right? I mean, the Vita was good to a point, and then we wanted it to go further, and you really couldn't. This is basically a portable PC handheld. I'm actually surprised Dave doesn't already have it pre-ordered.
You think I would, but the problem with that is They've been burnt. They've burned people before with hardware, so I don't trust them.
I'm not far off your reasoning, believe it or not. I want to see what the reviews are for it before I even consider dropping any money on it, because it's not cheap.
No.
And it could be awesome, but then can I use it also as a streaming device? Like if I need to join a Zoom meeting, can I use it? I don't know. It has a lot of potential.
Because there's other devices coming out that I've been like following, and there's like a bunch of other things that are like showing up that are actually not bad and very multi-use. Like I was like literally just watching a video of like a really high-end Android based portable that could really like go beyond like, you know, its normal uses for stuff. And, you know, it had all kinds of additional features in it that you could use it as like a straight up, just like regular like tablet type thing.
I think the other thing is the fact that it's linked to Steam, which is inherently full edge PC games, right? I mean, it's everything from Stardew Valley to, you know, Tarkov, right? And anything in between, Crisis 4, whatever. But, you know, most handhelds or portables have software that's developed with the fact of it being handheld and or portable in mind. This is playing PC games, which are typically not built around that concept. And I wonder how much that may hinder it.
Well, I mean, that's one of the first initial early reports was that they were having problems with frame rates and things like that because they're not optimized to run on portable mobile hardware. So it will be really interesting to see. I'm very interested to see where this goes. The Steam Deck is something that I'm interested in. And every time somebody says Steam Deck, I think they're talking about my Stream Deck. And I'm like, why would I want to play games on that? But still, I get that that's not the point. Twisted Ginger asks, what about Arc 2? As far as I know, we don't know anything about Arc 2 other than it was announced at the Game Awards. I don't think they have any further details that I've been able to see or find. GZDR Forever says, according to various reports, 70% of the COD sales were on PS4. Why wouldn't Activision go to Sony first and offer them the COD franchise or part of the COD franchise? Sony could have purchased the Black Ops franchise with Treyarch for $20 billion, then Microsoft or Nintendo could have purchased the Modern Warfare franchise or Ghost franchise. You know, I actually... So there's more to the Activision sale, obviously, than we're talking about. We're kind of a good news channel. We don't really talk about a lot of the negative stuff that goes on in the gaming industry. I guess we have to just a little bit here. You know, it's a very toxic work environment at Activision. There's a lot of scandal right now.
It's the best time for them to get out because they're never going to sell at a higher price.
Exactly. That's exactly why, is because you know, the pressure was mounting for Bobby Kotick, the CEO, to be fired and not get his hundreds of $millions in pay. And the quick and easy, dirty solution to all of this is to be acquired by another company so that they have to deal with it. And the current stockholders do not. So that's really, I think, what the underlying motivation for the sale is.
Oh, completely.
And the executives get their gold parachute.
And the executives get their gold parachute. And Microsoft, in what you were saying before, Matt, gets to look like the good guy when the acquisition is complete and they terminate Bobby Kotick, who has already made hundreds of millions, if not billions, off of Activision Blizzard over his tenure. And they still look to like the good guy in the end for having cleaned house and transitioning from the top down, you know. So it's really, that's exactly why they didn't go to PS4. I mean, who knows? Activision may have gone to Sony and said, hey, do you want to buy us? But I'm thinking they probably didn't go that route because Microsoft has far deeper pockets than Sony does. Remember, the rest of Sony is not profitable. The only division in Sony that is profitable is the gaming unit, which is the console.
They're movies. They're movie studios.
Yeah, now movie studios are, but they weren't for a long time.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're only. I think it's only been 3 or 4 years that they've been profitable again. Also,
I don't know. Their TV division, when they did Powers, must have been doing gangbusters. Sorry.
Anybody?
Wow.
Anybody else have a news story? Actually, I really like Powers, but
I saw that that came up in like a some kind of like Facebook memory or something like that. Like I think like you mentioned Powers and everything, and I was like, oh man, remember when we thought that was a good show?
Yeah, I do.
At the time, it wasn't bad, but
at the time it wasn't bad. But it was just like looking back on it, it's just like oof.
Daniel has a story. Go ahead, Daniel.
Oh, Daniel, go,
Yes.
Daniel Ranger.
I'm really upset I'm not seeing them. Sorry,
So good, man.
If you open the podcast in another tab and set it to right click on the tab and say mute site.
Sounds like work.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
it
it.
is, yeah. Back into RPG news. There is a tabletop role-playing game based on J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Hobbit as well, called The One Ring. And they just announced, not just announced, but there is a starter set that will be coming out for The One Ring that takes the kind of larger epic stories that are usually told with this system and brings it down to a more manageable kind of almost fairy tale version of what you see. Because the idea behind these starter sets, and you'll see them for Pathfinder, you see them for D&D, is to get people who don't know anything about how to play a game and get them running and excited to play in this universe. And so the idea behind this specific The One Ring starter set, it aims to please both of the desires of getting into the game and getting into this setting by focusing on a popular element in Middle-earth, the Shire. While you don't necessarily play as Bilbo Baggins or Frodo, you will be within the cozy confines of the Shire, so it makes sense for players to kind of get their start there. And it's not, the changes of the story won't be earth-shattering like Return of the King, but more about hobbits stumbling into adventure, getting into trouble, and getting out of it again. We saw several, especially for things like Starfinder, which came out a handful of years ago. We saw a couple freebie modules and stuff that were handed out to kind of give people a good idea on how the system works by having them play as some of the smallest characters. In this case, a small alien race that's fuzzy and cute with a whole bunch of arms called Skittermanders, which are essentially space goblins. And it's just kind of fun, getting into fun and getting into trouble, and that is how this seems as well. A lot of the reviews say that the products within it, maps, tokens, dice, adventure booklets, are all top-notch creation. It's something, even though it's a system I don't yet have on my shelf, it will probably end up being there, and the starter set's a good way to do it. Because it starts in the Shire, it might even be a good one to start with kids.
Yep. Matt, I have news that you'll be very excited about.
Tell me more.
Horizon Forbidden West has gone gold.
I remember back when Horizon Forbidden Zero Dawn was coming out, and everybody's like, "Oh man, I don't know." I'm like, "What are you guys crazy? This game is going to be awesome!" And then I was right. I'm worried about this one because everyone's excited for it.
So they've announced that there's 3 resolutions that you can play the game at,
which is pretty standard.
Resolutions and frame rates. You have performance mode, resolution mode, and hybrid mode, I think, are the 3.
Okay.
But no details as to exactly what that means.
I'll probably do what I normally do, is I'll flip flop around depending on what I'm doing. But that one seems like it's probably a performance mode game. Performance mode is always weird for me because it reminds me of motion flow like when I first go into like a high refresh rate with a slightly lower resolution. You remember when all the TVs had motion flow and it made all the movies
God,
look like they were soap operas or something, right?
I remember
That's
the first time I saw that was on a TV when I got my new TV in the basement, and that was on automatically. And the first show I watched was Gotham on it. And when they did that like pan, they always did a pan of the city in the beginning of it, and it always looked like a model, like it just looked like crap. And I was like, I need to turn that off like now.
Yeah, no, those were dark times, but that's what like going into a 60 to 120 frame game initially always looks like to me. It gives me that same vibe. It takes me like 5 minutes, and once I'm through that initial go, then it's great. But yeah, we'll have to see on that one though. I am super stoked for that game. I'm really excited for that to finally be coming out, and hoping that it is a worthy successor to it, and excited to find out that Carrie-Anne Moss is voicing a character in the game. So she's kind of all over the place right now. But yeah, no, that's great news.
All right.
I have a couple other things if
go ahead.
All right. I think everyone remembers that there's a Evil Dead game coming out, based off of the time frame of the TV show. It was supposed to be coming out really soon, but it has been pushed back into May to give it time to get groovy as hell, as the announcement said. So yeah, just in case that was something that was on your radar. There was also a trio of Star Wars games that were announced being done by Respawn recently. A sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, which was a great game from a couple years ago, put out by Respawn.
On sale now.
On sale now. Yeah, it's a great game. Then there was an Untitled FPS, first-person shooter that's being developed by Respawn. No idea of when, where, what, why, who, but the rumblings are that it is very probably bounty hunter related, trying to play off of the popularity of a couple of different bounty hunter shows that are on a streaming service.
Oh my God, I just realized we haven't talked about the Moon Knight trailer.
Oh yeah, we got to hit that too. And then there is also Respawn's doing a XCOM style SRPG in the Star Wars universe. They've working with a studio called Force Tech, which is largely created, manned, or at least led by former XCOM devs. So it's seriously XCOM style Star Wars game. That will be pretty interesting. I've never been able to get hardcore into XCOM. Star Wars theming might be that little push that it takes to get me over the edge.
Welcome to the show. So hello there.
Hello there.
The only other thing I was going to say is what everyone thinks of the Uncharted movie, because that's getting up close, but that's less important than the Moon Knight trailer, so we can skip that.
So is there anyone who hasn't seen the Moon Knight trailer?
No.
You've seen it? Okay. I'm just making sure everybody's seen it. Matt, you saw it, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Hashtag teamwork.
Hashtag teamwork. So, if you've not seen the Moon Knight trailer, first of all, this is actually one of the ones that I have been the most excited for, because he is the weirdest character in their lineup. A lot of people compare him to Batman, and that could be depending how they played it, but they're not going that direction, and I'm really happy about it, because they're actually going with somebody. It's almost Memento-esque to me, how they're framing it. It's someone who doesn't know necessarily where he is, what's going on, who he is for part of it, and his multiple personality disorder is just front and center.
I'm wondering if that's going to be it, or if they're going to go around that and just have the vigilante be the only other voice?
I don't think so, because even in the trailer, they've established that he's Stevie, and then he gets the phone call where they say, Mark, you're still alive. So they're not even started. So if you know nothing about Moon Knight, just know it's a character with multiple personality disorder. And the interesting thing is where I thought they would have started, which is the primary personality, Mark Spector. That is not the one we're getting in the
It doesn't
trailer.
seem that way, yeah.
It doesn't seem that way at all. So I'm completely intrigued to see where they go with this. And
But
we
also
now know
Marvel trailers tend to be very big throw-offs. So
That's true.
like, I don't-
that's true.
I love that it's him too.
Oh,
I'll watch anything with him in it.
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar
Yeah,
Isaac,
yeah. Same here. Same here.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I feel like they're almost mixing in a little bit of John Jameson's Moonwolf or Wolfman or what, I forget what its official name is in there. There were some elements there where the supernatural aspect of Moon Knight has always kind of been is it a side effect of his mental health issues or is it real? Right. They've gone back and forth with it depending on who's writing it, who's doing it, what's going on. Is Khonshu real? Is it another voice in his head? You
Right.
know,
I'm excited to
and
see where they take all that stuff.
they really played it up. I mean, there is literally a scene of him pulling a Power Rangers transformation in the trailer, which is
Well, and
okay.
no spoilers for the other things happening in Marvel, but there have also been other indications that we may be getting a supernatural team together.
Yeah, and I would love that. Love that. I mean, this is what makes me so angry about DC right now. Is DC's had everything Marvel's doing for decades. I mean, what was the team headed up by Detective Chimp? It's basically the supernatural team of the DC universe, and I'm totally blanking on its name right now.
Yeah,
But the fact I'm saying Detective Chimp and you have a good idea of what I'm talking about means that you know they're doing something right. It wasn't Villains United because that was the other book. It was
I'm Googling
it was
Bureau of No.
It was
Shadow
Shadow
Pact.
Pact. God,
Yeah.
why couldn't I think of that? Yeah, Shadow Pact. So I mean, you know, they've had, you know, it had what's his name? Oh my God, my brain is just completely stopped working tonight. The guy who wears trench coat that smokes a lot. John
Constantine.
Wick. Constantine. John Constantine. You know, John Constantine's on the team. You've got Detective Chimp. You've got the. What's wrong? I'm having an aneurysm. The magician that has to say her name. Or,
Zatanna.
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 Oh my God, Zatanna.
They had a one-off movie of Justice League Dark that had
basic team.
It had basically the Shadow Pact in it. Yeah. That's the whole.
which was really good, and if nobody saw that.
I did. I liked it.
I know
I've
you
actually
did,
watched
because
most of their animated stuff.
all
It's
the
real
animated
good.
stuff is great. You should see all the animated.
But why can't they do that in?
I don't know. That's been my complaint for years.
I mean, Marvel's the one cracking jokes, and it's a good place to be in the universe, even though all this bad stuff is happening. What's going on in the comics? It is the most bleak, abysmal universe you'd want to live in ever. I don't understand why they have switched roles for the big screen and can't figure it out.
I don't know.
Because you have to have that dark green filter over everything.
Are we talking about the Matrix? The newest Matrix? Is that a dig?
Oh,
The newest Matrix? 'Cause
no,
it should
that
be
wasn't-
a dig at the
it
newest
wasn't-
Matrix.
Yeah, it should be. It wasn't intentionally, but no, we talked about that. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole again.
Mystical Panda, welcome to the stream. Hello there.
Yeah.
Hello there.
Anyway, but
yeah,
yeah,
I liked it.
Go ahead.
Okay,
You
Joe.
had something. Okay. Oh,
What?
I'm muted again.
Joe doesn't like anything.
Yeah, but he's contrarian, so if nobody else liked it, he would. So.
Oh no,
yeah,
that's
that
not
is
true.
true.
I'm sure he hated it.
So yeah, that was my thought on that. Did anybody else have anything on the trailer? Go ahead.
Not a trailer.
Not a trailer. Okay.
Well, it was not what I expected, and so that threw me at first. I thought they would definitely go for a straight more Batman vibe in the trailer just to draw people in. Not that the show would have a straight Batman vibe, but I thought that for the trailer they would play it much more as a dressed in white Batman.
See,
to draw people in because it would be something familiar.
I think what's interesting about what they've done is we've seen that as Marvel does their phases, they use different movies as homages to different genres of film. So Shang-Chi, as an example, was their love letter to kung fu movies and things of that nature. I think this is going to be their homage to the Memento style thrillers, if you will, or mystery thrillers. I really think we're going to see something unexpected from this show. And this one's short, isn't it? Only like 6 episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a short
These
one.
These are getting ridiculous. They need to be longer.
I agree they need to be longer, but I think that this would be a great way for them to kind of showcase that style of film, even though it's a TV show. You get my point.
Do we?
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got potentially 6 TV MCU shows this year and 3 movies. That's a lot of Marvel content for 1 year.
Yeah.
And I mean, you just had Spider-Man, which was December, so it's not like, I mean, December to July, that's like the biggest movie break we've had since we started having movies again.
A long time. But we did have to suffer through Eternals.
Okay, so listen, there are a couple people in the chat that Eternals is their favorite Marvel movie. And
I'm sorry.
No, I don't think it's that bad. I still think that it's getting a lot of hate for no reason, even after all this time.
No, there's reasons. It's just not good.
No, it is a perfectly fine movie. And when you compare it against the other Marvel movies that have been very good to stellar, then it seems lackluster. But on its own merit, as a movie, it's perfectly fine. They had a lot of story and exposition to get through. And remember, Eternals is the one comic book that even hardcore comic book people have never read.
Yeah, no, I get that. Okay, I get that. But it's just like, oh, look, I love Gilgamesh. Oh, no, he's dead. Okay. No, we're gonna do that. Okay. So it's just like
spoilers.
It's not even out on.
Come on, Dave. So. It's not even out. Come on, man.
It's out on disc.
All I have to say is there are other Marvel movies that absolutely make bottom. That Eternals doesn't make bottom for me. It's a solid middle of the pack movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like it's not that bad.
Iron Man 3.
You're being Joe for being Joe's sake.
No, you hate Iron Man 3. Oh, man.
Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 3.
Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 3. Okay.
I'm right there with you, Bearden.
No, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 3 was 2 different movies. And if you look at it...
Dave, you're 2 different movies. If you're going to break things apart like that, you can say the same thing about Eternals or any other movie.
No. You could see, like, it was like 2 separate things. There was, like, Raimi wanted to make a Sandman movie, so all the Sandman stuff was good, and then all the stuff the studio made him shove in there was bad because he didn't want to do it.
But that doesn't mean that the movie as a whole was good.
It wasn't.
Right.
I'm not understanding your argument.
Yeah, I'm not understanding your argument.
I love you, Dave.
No, my point is it wasn't Raimi's fault.
So are you saying it's not Marvel's fault that you don't like Eternals?
No, that's totally Marvel's fault.
But
they shouldn't have been robots.
Okay, A, spoilers. B, come on now. I mean, okay.
Is it Gemma Chan?
Gemma Chan, yeah.
So Gemma Chan, all right, you have to take a look at her body of work and then realize that she is a robot, and that's one thing leads to another.
That's
Her body of work, she usually plays a robot.
It's very, 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 very flat characters, or
so.
literally.
You know what? And I know I'm going to get flack. I thought she did fine in this movie.
That was my point. That was my point.
Okay.
She literally plays robots in like 3 other roles.
Well, I know, but I'm saying that like as an actress, I did fine as the main character.
I thought she was great.
Yeah, I thought she was fine.
I didn't.
She was actually the reason I went and saw it.
Oh, nice.
I didn't think people were bad. I was just like, that's BS.
So you're just upset they used emotional tropes to get you.
I don't think it was emotional tropes. Like there was like things I liked, but then it was just like they just wasted stuff
it did do the exact opposite of what Phase 1 and Phase 2 did, and in that sense, it seemed off.
You mean
because they
you
were
mean where
trying
they
to cram
started as a team with a lot of members and then tried to give each person their spotlight, but they couldn't because it's a team of like 1,500 people.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. That was the issue I had as well.
Wizdrout, welcome to the stream. Hello there.
I mean, there was a lot. It was just like Sprite was like, "Why did they make it this way?" It's just like, eh.
Daniel's audio cut out, so I don't.
Yeah, I was just agreeing with you, Matt. That it's because they had so many people, and we didn't really get an origin for each character, and partially because we didn't really need one.
Right.
In my opinion, and it's the same problem I will have anytime they do this, and Mark understands why. When you misstep and misuse a speedster, I'm gonna have a problem with it.
And you know what? I actually think they didn't.
I think if she had been present through the rest of the movie, we would not have had the same issue.
That's the problem, right? Is they have to get rid of her. It just like every other speedster, they have to get rid of them for a good chunk of the movie. Otherwise, it doesn't work. You get a Quicksilver screen, scene in an X-Men movie, and you're like, they're like getting on the plane without him. Why aren't you getting on the plane? He's your most valuable weapon. He can literally everything.
Run to where you're flying now.
Yeah,
and be there before you.
Nope, you need to stay here and do homework, young man.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's like stuff like, God, yeah, come on.
But I don't think they misused her as much as pigeonholed her in the same tropes that they do.
When I say misuse, I mean take the air out of her sails,
right?
Because it would be a completely different movie. Right. It would have cut an hour off of the movie.
But what about like they were doing like this really cool bad guy thing, and then it just kind of just went.
Well, I mean, I think that was all there.
So there
was it.
There, yeah. Dave, if you go, well, I'm not saying you should because I don't think it would change anything for your perspective. But they have a handful of deleted scenes that you can go and look up that delve more into that specific topic that I won't get into for spoilers.
I would definitely check that out because I'm a big fan of. That's why I used to pick up all the Blu-rays and everything because they would always.
You're referring to the deviants, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's some deleted scenes that go more into the deviants and what was actually happening behind the scenes and the main deviant. And now that we're just throwing all the spoilers out.
Yeah, we're throwing all the spoilers out. But the whole point is that
that's just going to make me angry that they cut that stuff.
By the way, Dave, you're getting threatened in the chat. People want to throw hands with you. Eternal is an absolute favorite of mine. I knew that was going to happen too. But the funny part is that we actually
welcome Persephone.
Welcome to the stream. Hello there.
I'm sorry.
I
really am. I don't usually do this.
Well, so the funny part is normally when a Marvel movie comes out, we have a spoiler cast in which we tackle all of this. We get all of us together and we talk about what we like and we didn't like. And I just realized we never did one for Eternals.
We didn't.
No.
And so this kind of is our spoiler cast where we're talking about what we like and what we don't like. I will say that I think Eternals is an ambitious movie that
I agree.
Had a lot, because it's a Kirby property, it had such a huge, rich backstory and so many characters put into it. that from that standpoint, it probably wasn't a great idea to introduce 12 characters.
You know,
but
that would have been a great TV series because they've been proven.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. If it would have had the time and space to breathe of a TV series, it would have been really good. I hope you feel better, Wizdrout. Thanks for coming by regardless. And it was great playing Fortnite with you last night. You're amazing.
And part of it was that I liked some of the characters so much that I was just like, oh, yeah, you sure. Yeah, that's just, we don't need them anymore. Why? No, hate you.
Well, I think the thoughts are, if someone is popular and liked enough from the movies, they could always do a TV spinoff that's set in another era. We've already seen that multiple times. So there's nothing to say that we can't have an Eternal series down the road. We'll see. But I
also in the name Eternals.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But it was cheap. Never mind.
I get what you're saying, but there's an implied longevity, and yeah.
I get there's just certain things that are just like, what? They didn't need to.
I was more intrigued by their use and or misuse of one Angelina Jolie, because I swear they must have been paying her by the word.
So here's the thing. I actually really liked her story arc compared to what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no, it's just.
I thought they were not going to use her at all. And I'm like, they actually wrote her story arc. And she's actually an accomplished enough actress that she was able to pull off some of the nuance that was needed for that. And while it was still a little heavy-handed because of the rest of the stuff they did around it, I actually thought it ended up being really interesting. And how many more Eternals are suffering from that? And will they be able to convert those people to the cause? So that's kind of where I was going with it. And I guess the best way to say it is, being the giant comic book nerd that I am, and knowing as little or as much about Eternals as I do, which is not much because no one read it because it came out in the 60s during all that rest of that era stuff where they're trying to be super grandiose and super large. I thought they did a perfectly good job of introducing people to this group, explaining why they didn't participate in the Thanos War, and which we should mention actually changes Thanos' motivations and technically makes him a good guy, because he was trying to stop the Celestials' plan, even if he couldn't articulate it. It is the tip of the iceberg, Persephone, and I think it has a lot of implications for the Marvel universe. Let's put it that way. I'm great. We got the beginnings of Black Knight and Blade in this one as well. That's super great. I'm interested to see where all of this goes. There are a lot of implications. Now, was it a flawless movie? No. Did it do some things very right? Yes. Some of the characters were written better than the others.
Yes,
I love
the first stinger was what made it worth it for me.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
As soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I watched this.
I mean, yes. So,
and just to be fair, if anybody's interested, a lot of the movie's plot is actually based on Neil Gaiman's early 2000 run on the Eternals. So if you're looking for the comic source for a lot of what happened in the movie, it's in that, and go ahead and look it up. I've not read that particular arc.
Let me tell you, if Gaiman writes a comic book and it doesn't become an instant sellout, you know you're working with difficult source material. And that's not like a dig at Gaiman by any. Gaiman is amazing. No. Yeah. And it's like when you go back and read the Kirby stuff, and it's like it's grandiose for the sake of being grandiose, right? Oh, yeah. It's like they're trying to create something so out there that
this was a revenge book on top of that.
Yeah,
because he was trying to get back at DC.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, come on now. So yeah. Anyways.
Third person hath spoken.
Yes. So that's the end of the Eternal spoiler cast that we didn't even mean to go into.
I actually have another article.
You have another article.
Yeah,
I know.
Pretty sure I need to apologize now. I'm sorry for everything existing.
So
everybody likes things and doesn't like things. It's completely valid.
I would say that Druig is the character that I least liked out of the team.
He was not played well.
I don't think he wasn't played well. I think he wasn't written well.
Yeah, that's fair.
I agree he had a good arc, but I would have liked to understand his motivations more because it was a little thin in my opinion. That doesn't mean it's bad, but yeah, they made him. It was almost like watching somebody that had bipolar issues at times.
You know who was the greatest though on the show, on that movie?
Oh boy,
Gilgamesh.
Yes, Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh was a great character. Although we do have to call out now that we've had 2 or 3. We're getting to that point of actors who are coming into these things and writers where they're writing in Dragon Ball Z references into their movies.
Yes,
because we literally had a Kamehameha in that movie.
Well,
I will tell you that
Fastest was one of my favorites too.
I did facepalm immediately when my wife asked me if that was Wong from Doctor Strange.
I don't blame people for getting that double take, especially if you're not that. They look similar enough, and they were dressed and acting similar.
I get it too, but I'm like, no, that's not Wong. He's much taller.
And Mio was like, this is like if Chef Roy Choi was a superhero.
No, you're 100% correct on that. I'm waiting for that series, but not yet.
Anyway, Daniel's had an article for like 20 minutes.
Daniel,
now,
tell us about your article so we can wrap this poor podcast up.
So it was one last role-playing article, but it is the closest to the video gaming that I'll probably get to for this conversation, and that's that there is a Dark Souls role-playing game, tabletop role-playing game, coming out spring 2022 that is going to be based using the D&D 5th edition current rules.
Oh, I didn't know that.
With updated classes, a new magic system, new beasties for a bestiary, a whole bunch of new equipment, and they've promised more tactical style combat. So I think it's actually going to be 5e mixed with a little bit of 4th edition, which was very tactical and counting the squares around you. But I'm definitely interested to see how they pick it up because that game is no joke. And like The Witcher, it has some pretty amazing and dark lore. So, and that's a part of a lot of these settings I really get behind for D&D specifically. I get into all tabletop role-playing games, but D&D lately has been a big one. So I'm interested to see how much of 5e they take. But yeah, that's spring 2022.
Yeah, and we were actually in a game store earlier today, and they had the Dark Souls board game expansions.
A lot of them.
All of them, and not the core game. I'm like, come on, guys. Come on.
Which actually has been happening a lot more that I've been finding.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that's because they kickstarted it, and it was a very low print run, and it sold out immediately. So, yeah. Persephone, I appreciate that particular insight into that, and I can definitely appreciate that. I just wish they would have given him more of a narrative that where he got to explain some of it, I guess is the best way to say it.
There wasn't it hit, but it could have
hit better. A lot harder. Yeah. And that's why I feel
and I think that's true about the whole movie. I think that's part of Dave's problem is that very few things got to hit because they were trying to divide
so
the
much.
time across with so much. But
yeah, it's just.
And we're back on the movie again.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. Lines drawn in the sand.
It's so I didn't want to hate it, and I don't hate it. It's just kind of I just wish. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
I am curious with a tabletop Dark Souls. So how are they going to implement the roll mechanic? Because you're going to have like stamina points.
That's exactly what I wanted to look at in the core.
Right. No,
that's not available to buy.
No, but what you're going to have is like the gameplay mechanic is going to be like you take your junk out and you slam it in a door jam.
Oh boy.
Over and over.
It would not. It wouldn't surprise me if they go by 5e. It wouldn't surprise me if you have some form of dodge mechanic. I know
a
you're
reaction
joking, but
dodge.
You're gonna have a reaction dodge
Or a reaction
Right.
roll.
I'll
or
take your
something.
joke and I'll top it by taking it seriously.
Yes.
But
Yes. Yes.
How many times can you slam it in a door jam?
Listen, Dave, I get that you don't like the Souls games.
oh, I don't like them either. But I'm willing to look at this
I
tabletop.
don't, because
Yeah.
I like to have fun.
If
when I
they,
play games.
when I tried playing the lowest difficulty in that and still could not make it very far.
Well, I keep trying to explain. The first time I played Demon Souls, there's a flight of steps. It took me 2 hours to get up that flight of steps because I kept dying over and over again, and it made me figure out the system. And that may not be fun. Once I did that, I've been good for all the games because it never got harder than figuring out what the timing was to get up those steps past those 12 different monsters that were on the steps. And so once I figured that out, the rest of the game's been fun. But the people who go in going, I expect to master this immediately, are going to feel like what Dave said.
No, I don't expect to master a game immediately. I just want to have fun when I'm playing games. And that is not fun.
I get it.
Right. So I will spend time with games that are actually fun to me. But then again, my definition of fun in games is a little bit weird.
That's what I was also going to addendum on. So thank you for doing that.
Yes, I am fully self-aware at my, what I find fun in games.
And now just finish Metroid Dread for the love of God, all right?
I am, but I have to drag it out a little bit because it's going to be 19 years until I get another one.
Oh boy. It probably has New Game Plus.
Does it?
Nope.
Matt.
I
was trying to help you.
You're trying to help, yeah. Sorry.
You ruined the joke.
Oh boy.
That would have been so fun.
I think that's going to bring us then, unless anybody else has any more articles to go through, news items worthy of discussing.
All I'm going to say is, has everyone or anyone else watched the last Strangers in Paradise Final Fantasy Origin trailer?
Oh God, no! Please tell me it's amazing.
It's 5 minutes long.
Oh geez.
It's chaos incarnate. And I think it gave away the main conclusion plot at one point.
Oh geez.
And it has a scene with Jack standing in a wheat field with Frank Sinatra's My Way playing in the background.
I don't understand what they're doing with this game at all. It makes me so tired just thinking about it.
You should watch it. It's ridiculous.
I will definitely watch it. I have to watch it now. So this is the part of the podcast where we like to thank all of our folks who have made the show possible, our Patreon and Twitch supporters. So we like to go through every week or every other week when we do this and read them off by hand. So I'm going to actually start the video up here. Where is it? There we go. Oh, wait, stop. You're going too far. Too fast. Okay, there we go. So thank you, first of all, to Axe Thompson, Nomishly, Lexi, Mr. J Nice ×2, Mark Stedmom, Tim Paget, Drogadan. Also on that list are DMS Creations, Peter Caro, Billy Frog, Dance Commander Ramey Becker, Arturo Gonzalez, Mark Johnson, Eric the Amazing Luna, John O'Callahan, June Curry Biyashi, John Hewlett, 2 times Academy Award nominee Patrick Tubach, Twisted Ginger 25, Jag Leisure, Bearden, Tracy Fuller, Dave Butler, Michael Sims, Mark Huey, Nick Nibbles, Kevin Rollins, That Kid Named D, and DM Studios. Thank you, all of you, for helping support the channel. We appreciate you very much. We couldn't do what we do without you. That is then going to bring us to final thoughts for the evening. And Daniel, we will start with you for final thoughts once this disappears off my screen. There we go.
So a final thought for me would be, if you've had an interest in tabletop games, you can find sometimes you can find groups at local gaming stores around you. There are meetups that do gaming groups around you, and there are websites to help you find groups. Like Play RPGs Now, I think is one of them that I've been looking at. But overall, there's systems for absolutely every genre. And if you have a story to tell, make sure you get it told.
Let's go to Dave. Final thoughts.
Make sure you play Ratchet and Clank, the Gamersledge Game of the Year. A lot of us said that it is Game of the Year. By the way, I ran the table.
I actually thought
we called it.
I actually thought, Matt, that I was going to owe you money. Luckily, I do not.
There was a bet. What was the bet? What was the bet?
I thought you were not going to bring it up the whole podcast.
I was saving it.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I thought we were going to make it, and no.
No, come on. Do you think I would let that slide? When am I ever going to get that chance ever again? Ever?
I don't know. You consumed a lot of alcohol, so I was uncertain.
No, we sobered up since then.
Bearden, you're welcome, man. I just I see how happy you get when you play them, so I'm looking forward to this. All right, Matt, final thoughts for the week or the 2 weeks.
Final thoughts for the 2 weeks. I had prep time and I had time stalled, and I still couldn't come up with anything. So since we did just talk about Final Fantasy, I really want Final Fantasy 16. That game, what little we've seen of it and the concept of it, if it comes, hopefully it doesn't do a 14 and, come from one thing into another, or not 14, 15 and transform from one thing into another. But, I'm really intrigued by that. And I'm really interested to get back to a fantasy setting and see what we can do. Obviously 14 has a fantasy setting, and that's been great to experience, but I'm really kind of looking forward back to that single player experience and see what they come up with that. And I know that's not a great final thought because we don't have a time frame. We don't know anything about it really, but I'm just really, every once in a while I think about that game and I'm like, man, I want that like now. But first we gotta get through Horizon. So,
well, no, we got to get through Horizon and what's the Isekai Final Fantasy game that's coming up? The one with Aisha Tyler in it.
Oh, for Forspoken?
Forspoken, yes.
Yeah.
We get through those two first, then we get 16.
Yes.
That leads to me. My final thought is multi-streamer D&D stream for my birthday that I thought I was going to have to run, and Daniel actually stepped in and said, would you like a birthday present and to play? And I said, yes, please. I would like the cheesy poofs. So I am super excited about that. We've got some great people lined up, and it should be a lot of fun. In fact, I think this is the first time I have ever played with a table full of new people, and I'm super excited about it because I believe everybody at the table has never played before, and it's kind of the same story that I've heard amongst all the different people that I talked to about this, is that D&D seems really hard and we don't have anybody to run for us. And so my fear, Bearden, is that you guys are going to like it and you're going to love it, and then there won't be anybody to run for you. And then we'll have to wait till the next one shot. But we'll figure that part out. But yeah, my point is I'm super excited for this. And the other thing, can I tease a little bit about what the story is? All right. So
what you think the story?
What I think the story is. So just as an FYI, since Dan and I have known each other since the comic shop, we actually made a shared character concept that we used to play. How many years ago was that now? 18 years ago. Yeah. That we were brothers, that our characters were brothers. And one of them one of them was about to die, fall off a cliff and die. And I used a magic ability by praying to a god to help me save him. And it worked, but not in the way that I thought. And for the last 18 years, I've been playing this character through various role-playing game systems to try and find him.
Some of them very far from D&D.
Very far from D&D. So basically,
he would build this character in Shadowrun or Star Wars or whatever we were playing. He would build this character searching for his lost brother.
And so my birthday gift, what I think my birthday gift is that I will be playing that character yet again and finding my brother. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It may be a horrible disaster.
His princess is in another castle.
My princess is always in another castle. Oh, man. So that's going to do it for tonight, except for our final piece of sage advice that we leave with you until next we meet again to help carry you through that time. Daniel, since you're here and local. Daniel, what do houses wear?
I don't know. What do houses wear?
An address.
Nice.
No. Don't. No.
Until next time, we're going to raid somebody, so if you would stick around, we're going to do that raid momentarily. But until next time, thanks for watching, and game on.
Game on.
Game on.